Eddie Brock has been trying to live a quieter life after the chaotic events with Carnage and the multiverse incident. He and Venom keep a low profile, occasionally taking down criminals in the shadows of San Francisco. Eddie is torn between his responsibility as a journalist and the destructive tendencies of Venom. The two constantly argue but also rely on each other more than ever. Beneath the tension, there's an undeniable bond that has evolved into something deeper, almost like family. A string of unexplained murders shakes the city, and Eddie begins to investigate. Bodies are discovered with strange wounds resembling symbiote attacks. Eddie feels an uneasy familiarity, suspecting that another symbiote may have resurfaced. Venom insists that only they are capable of tracking it down before it becomes uncontrollable. Eddie realizes this may be bigger than any case he has ever covered. While digging for answers, Eddie comes across an underground biotech company experimenting with alien organisms. They have been secretly harvesting symbiote DNA left behind from previous battles. Their goal is to weaponize the symbiotes for military use. Eddie sneaks into their facility, discovering horrifying evidence of failed experiments, humans fused with incomplete symbiote forms. The sight disgusts him, but it also fuels his determination. Meanwhile, a ruthless mercenary named Kane is introduced as the company's hired enforcer. He is scarred from years of combat and harbors a personal grudge against so-called superpowered freaks. Kane volunteers for the company's most dangerous experiment, allowing himself to be bonded with a newly engineered symbiote. Unlike Venom, this new creation thrives on aggression and pain. Kane emerges as a terrifying force, more controlled but also more ruthless. Eddie senses the presence of this new host when Venom begins reacting violently during one of their patrols. The symbiote warns Eddie that Kane's bond feels unnatural, almost forced, and that makes him unpredictable. They try to confront him, but Kane easily overpowers them in their first encounter. Eddie narrowly escapes with his life, shaken by how powerful Kane has become. Venom is furious at the humiliation. Back at Eddie's apartment, the arguments between him and Venom grow louder. Venom wants to attack Kane head-on, while Eddie believes they need a strategy. Their clashing views cause a rift, and for the first time in a long while, Eddie considers separating from Venom. Venom, however, reminds Eddie that without him, Kane would kill him in seconds. It's a fragile partnership tested by fear and doubt. Eddie reconnects with Anne, who has been trying to move forward with her life. She warns him about being dragged into another destructive cycle with Venom. Still, when she sees how desperate Eddie looks, she reluctantly helps him uncover more about Kane and the biotech company, and realizes Eddie is caught between survival and morality. Her presence reignites Eddie's humanity, reminding him of what he is fighting for. Kane, now calling himself Ravage, begins targeting powerful figures in the city. He sees himself as a predator cleansing the world of weakness. His attacks cause chaos, and the public begins to suspect Venom's return. The media paints Eddie as complicit, damaging his reputation. Eddie becomes a fugitive in his own city, hunted by both law enforcement and Ravage. In one tense chase, Eddie and Venom fight Ravage across the Golden Gate Bridge. The battle is brutal, with Ravage demonstrating his enhanced abilities like spiked armor and acidic attacks. Eddie is nearly thrown into the ocean, but Venom saves him at the last second. Their survival depends on perfect synchronization, something they lack at that moment. The failure gnaws at Eddie's confidence. Venom tries to take control more aggressively, often overriding Eddie's choices. Eddie pushes back, demanding that they act as equals, not master and servant. Their emotional conflict mirrors the larger war they're fighting against Ravage. At times, their bickering feels almost like a broken marriage struggling to survive. Yet when danger comes, their instincts still align, and becomes a target when Ravage realizes Eddie's weakness. He kidnaps her, taunting Eddie to face him without hesitation. The stakes become personal, and Eddie knows he can't back down. For once, he and Venom are fully united in their desire to save someone they both care about. This shared purpose sparks a new level of trust between them. The final showdown happens in the biotech facility where Ravage was born. The environment is filled with failed symbiote experiments in containment pods. Eddie and Venom fight through waves of enhanced soldiers before reaching Ravage. The fight is brutal, tearing through laboratories and shattering machinery. Eddie feels every blow, but Venom shields him with everything he has. During the fight, Venom realizes Ravage symbiote is unstable. If it is pushed to its limit, it will consume Kane entirely, destroying them both. Eddie struggles with the moral choice: kill Kane or try to save him. Venom wants to finish it, but Eddie insists on trying to break the bond. It's a desperate gamble in the heat of battle. Eddie and Venom find a way to overload Ravage by using the biotech sonic weaponry. The screams of the symbiote echo through the facility, forcing Kane and his symbiote to separate violently. Kane collapses, broken but alive, while the Ravage symbiote disintegrates in a horrific display. Eddie looks at him with pity rather than triumph. Venom is unsettled but respects Eddie's choice. The destruction of the facility causes a massive explosion, and Eddie barely escapes with Anne. In the aftermath, the city still views Venom as a monster, but Eddie knows the truth of their sacrifice. For once, Eddie and Venom share a quiet moment of peace. Their bond has grown beyond survival. It's a choice now. Venom admits that Eddie's humanity keeps them from becoming what Ravage was. Eddie, in turn, acknowledges that without Venom, he would have died long ago. They finally embrace their partnership not as a curse, but as a strange form of destiny, and walks away, knowing Eddie has chosen his path, one she cannot fully share. In the final scene, Eddie returns to his desk, writing an article exposing the biotech company's crimes. His words are raw and personal, telling the truth no one else could. Venom smirks, calling him a storyteller with teeth. Eddie smiles faintly, realizing that his life will never be normal, but it will always be meaningful. A post-credit scene teases a mysterious signal from space being detected by scientists. It resembles the symbiote frequency, hinting at a much larger threat approaching Earth. Venom growls in anticipation, whispering, "They're coming." Eddie stares at the stars, knowing their fight is far from over. The screen cuts to black, leaving the future uncertain but thrilling. But another short scene follows, showing Kane recovering in a hospital bed under heavy surveillance. His eyes flicker black for a moment, hinting that a fragment of Ravage might have survived. Doctors whisper about his resilience, while Kane smirks faintly. His story is not over, and he may yet rise again, either as a weapon or a broken man seeking redemption. Meanwhile, in a shadowy government facility, agents discuss the symbiote incidents with growing concern. Files on Eddie Brock and Venom are laid out on the table. One agent hints at forming a special task force to neutralize alien threats before they spread. The words echo ominously, setting the stage for larger conflicts ahead. Eddie, restless after his article's publication, feels a gnawing unease. Venom warns him that the signal from space is more than just a call. It's a summons. Eddie realizes they may have drawn the attention of something far greater than Ravage. His nightmares are filled with visions of worlds consumed by endless black. He wakes in a sweat, Venom whispering that their bond may be humanity's last defense. The final tease comes with a quick shot of outer space. A colossal, monstrous figure looms within a swarm of symbiotes, watching Earth from afar. Its voice rumbles across the void, promising that the true god of the symbiotes is coming. The screen cuts to darkness with only two words left hanging: Knull rises.